Hey everyone, welcome to another video. Just wanted to let you know before we dive deep into this video that we are doing a study tour. In a few weeks, the study tour is going to come live. I'm going to share a perfect agenda pretty soon. But right now, I'm going to leave a link in description which you can check it out and you can register yourself. Now, we do have limited seats. The softwares limit us to host a lot many people, but I would love to meet you online. We're going to talk about studying abroad, shortlisting universities, life in the US, everything. So if you're a fall 22, spring 22, or even a fall 23 person, please join. Register with the link in description. Go check it out. Thank you. Continue with the video. A few months ago, I saw a video of another YouTuber saying that why XYZ country is the best, and he was basically bashing the US. Uh, I got to thinking, like, why, maybe there's reasons why that person's bashing the US, but I wanted to kind of make a video on telling you why I love the US so much, why I love US's education so much, and share my thoughts on it, give you my 2 cents on it. Just to give you some context, I did graduate from Purdue University. That's my degree from Purdue. I did graduate from a Asian university as well. I did my schooling in India, and I also went to Europe for an exchange semester. Some people say that 4 months is not enough to understand European university, but I do have friends who have done education from Europe, from Nordic countries, from other countries as well, and they have to travel to other EU countries to get jobs. And let me tell you why I like the US so much. I was the kind of person who never was a big fan of the United States in terms of education because there was so much political disruption with Trump being here, and with like racism. You always hear the negative stuff about the country when you're sitting across the world and just looking for from far. And when you go to Europe for the first time, you always see the best things of it, right? I went to an exchange semester in a Swedish university. I had the best time, I met the best people. But then when it came to job opportunities, I realized that there is not that many for civil engineers. For computer science, for electrical, for mechanical, I can't say much. Germany is best for mechanical engineering. Computer science, it's evergreen. There's so many companies in EU as well who will hire computer science people. But with civil engineering, with different degrees like optical sciences would be one, um, even business analytics would be one, or marketing would be one. And these degrees, maybe EU is not such a great option, but I'm not here to say anything about EU. I'm here to tell you why I chose the US, and why, if I had to choose again, I would still choose the United States rather than choosing Canada, EU, or Australia for my education. Uh, in terms of living, yeah, I would love to live in Europe because Europe is amazing. You can travel so much, but US's work culture, education, and the amount of growth you can have is astronomical. There's just so much potential if you are happy to put the work in. So in that video, the person was kind of bashing the work culture, bashing the universities, bashing how costly it is to study here. So here's my defense to that. Here is my reasoning why US is such a great country for education in terms of visa and everything. If you're coming to my channel for the first time, let me give you a quick intro. I'm Parth. I am a graduate from Purdue University. I graduated in 2019. I've been working in Arizona since then. I love it here. I've graduated from Asian Institute of Technology, Thailand before, and I've also done an exchange semester in Sweden. I work in construction industry right now. I work as a project engineer, and over the period of these 4 or 5 years, I've helped like thousands of international students getting to the US and help out with their journey. I've also filmed a lot of my life over the years of my college days, so if you want, you can always subscribe to the channel and check those videos out. I'll tell you the first thing which was going into my mind while I was contemplating if I should choose the US or the Europe. So a few things. Europe, of course, the work culture is great, but in terms of US, there's like a bunch of universities which are good, which are great. It's the top universities. There's no doubt about it. If you take the top 8 Ivy Leagues, other than that, also like universities, um, all the University of California's, University of Texas, Purdue, there's ASU, U of A. There's just so many, like University of Illinois Urbana-Champaign, bunch of universities in the Bay Area. Stanford is one of them. East Coast, NYU is great. University of North Carolina is like Chapel Hill. That's UNCC's superb. So yeah, there's a bunch of universities which are awesome. So that was one. Second, language barrier is, if I'm going to Europe, then there is definitely a language barrier. If there's no language barrier while you're studying in the EU, then there might be a language barrier, or when you're planning to work in a company or going to corporate world. That language barrier was big for me. I don't want the stress coming to a new country and then learning the language. Yes, there's Germany where you can learn the language, you can get a job, the education's free, but you still end up spending like 14, 15 lakhs. I would assume so. I don't know the exact numbers, but 14, 15 lakhs seems like living and everything. You would be able to finish your education. But then comes the US. So there is a very negative norm about the US universities, that US universities cost like 50, 60, 70 lakh rupees. That is completely utter nonsense. Yes, there are universities like Harvard. If you do their MBA, you would end up spending like 1 crore. If you go for an undergrad education in the US, you would end up spending like 50, 60 lakh rupees as well. But then there is Nand, there's another YouTuber called Nand Javia. You can check out his channel. He got a full scholarship from the university studying in, and that's great. He's not paying, and he's also making some money while he's doing part-time studies. Now, when I was looking at the two universities, I was looking at the Swedish university and I was looking at the US university. When I was deciding which university I want to go for, I had three options. I either could go to KTH Sweden, I could go to TU Delft in Netherlands, or I could go to Purdue University in the US. I saw how much they are going to cost. So a few factors about the Europe is like the PR is a little bit easier, the lifestyle is much better. But then let's check the fees. How much I'm going to pay for that college and how much I'm going to get back. So TU Delft fee was 22,000 US dollars, whereas KTH's complete program fee was 35,000 US dollars, and whereas Purdue's complete master's fee, when what I paid is 37,000 US dollars. So I was like, for 2,000 US dollars, if I'm deciding between KTH versus Purdue, I can get a US education which is much more recognizable all across the world, and I will have, or I might have, better job opportunities. I think the nail in the coffin was when I reached out to the university in KTH and I asked, like, hey, what are the job opportunities for international students? They told me that most of the international students go back to their home countries to work, and I'm like, that doesn't make sense. If I go back to India and if I have a construction management degree, I wouldn't be able to recoup my investment because construction management degrees don't pay that much. So that was my thought process. And when it came to TU Delft, they told me that Dutch is pretty important when you are planning to study in Netherlands. If you don't know Dutch, the companies might not hire you, especially for construction jobs. If you're in computer science, they will hire you, but I don't know how much they're going to pay you. There's one thing definitely which is prominent in the US is that US salaries are much higher as compared to EU. EU taxes are more. Yes, healthcare is free, but European Union's taxes are much more. In the US, healthcare is more expensive, but your company is responsible for paying for that healthcare. So every month from my paycheck, there's a certain amount of money which goes into my dental and vision. It's like $5, $6. But when I go to get any test or anything done, my copay comes down to $25. So should I be saving 15% in my taxes when I'm making, let's say, $100,000, whereas in EU I'm paying like 42% taxes, which might not be the most ideal case.